So hello, welcome back to another video. Now this evening I'm out to do some Gilthead Bream fishing. I've come out nice and early today. I'm just getting the rods set up. I'm going to give it about 20 minutes until I actually start fishing. The tide's flooding in, we've got a nice big spring tide, so hopefully we're in with a chance of catching a gilthead. Now high tide tonight is about 8 o'clock, so it's still going to be daylight. Now you do get a few bass at this place as well, but whilst it's daylight and a very bright sunny day, I'm not too sure we'll be able to catch one of those, but as I said, it's going to be the Gilthead Bream that we're really after. Now rigs I'm using are just very simple sliding ledger rigs. I've got 2.0 Aberdeen hooks and a 3.0 Chinook hook as the pennel, but standard running ledger rigs with a sliding lead. Baits, I've got some razorfish and some gaper clam, and I've also got some lugworm. This is the bait for this evening. I've got some gaper clams in here, along with some razor, which I've taken all out of shell already. So we're going to be putting a few of these on there. We've got some nice lugworm that I dug yesterday. So combos of lugworm and razor or gaper clam, and hopefully that's going to do the trick. Well, so far I've got one rod out. Just had to compete with some dog walkers throwing stones into the water right below me. It really is unbelievable sometimes. But anyway, I'm just going to prepare another bait. On one rod I've got the razor and the lugworm, and on the other rod I'm going to put a bit of gaper clam on there as well. So we'll get that on the hook and get it out there. So, a little update so far. Now, I've not been filming much whatsoever. I've got someone fishing just down there, about 20 metres away, and I've just had someone else next to me as well. So I've been chatting to him on and off. Between the three of us, not a single one of us had a bite until about 10 minutes ago. My rod started getting a few taps, and all of a sudden, bang, slammed over. Now, I was really hoping it was a Gilthead Bream. It gave a really good account for itself, but it was a black bream. And as I was unhooking it, I unhooked it, and as I was rebaiting to put the rod back out, my other rod, without any warning whatsoever, bang, slam over, and a second black bream. So here's one of them here, and we've got another just here as well. So two lovely size eating black bream there. Hopefully we can get that gilt. I'm actually getting knocked now. Now you will get all varieties of bream at this particular spot. You'll get the Couch's bream, the black bream, and also giltheads. Whether there's been any giltheads caught lately at this spot, I have absolutely no idea. I've not been here in a good 4 or 5 months. So yeah, it's just trial and error really. Thought I'd give it a go. We're bang on high water, so this is sort of prime time. I'm going to fish the next hour, and then I'm going to call it a day. Now I'll also give those bream a little rinse off in a second and get you a better show. It's probably not the best angle as I was holding them up before, but they're really nice eating size. I'd say they're about £1.5 each, between £1.25 and £1.5. But let's hope and pray we can get that Gilthead Bream. So I've got the chest cam on now. As I said, I wasn't really filming much earlier. 2 reasons. 1, there wasn't anything happening, and 2, I was just having the odd chat with that other fella who was here. but he's packed up and left now. The other guy's still just along the beach. Now I was just getting hits on both rods then. I lifted into one of them on the left-hand rod and completely missed it. So I'm just going to leave that for another 5 minutes. I might need to change the bait. We'll put a nice big juicy bait out there. Hopefully attract a big fish. So what we'll do is slide everything down the line, wrap the pennel hook round a few times, put that through the top of the razor, pull the line down, bait stopper, hold it all in place, and there we go. So I think I'm going to bring both these rods in now. I've had hits on both of them, but I'm pretty sure they may have stripped the baits. So I'll wind them in, get some fresh bait on there, and get them back out. I thought that fish had possibly stripped the baits, but it's back again. Tapping away at that left-hand rod. There we go. Hard to tell if it's a black bream or possibly a gilthead. Completely bare hooks. Well, as I'm baiting up, I've just had an inquiry on the right-hand rod. Now I'm thinking that these bites I'm getting could well be Gilthead Bream. Now to be honest, I do say that every time I'm out targeting giltheads. I say that looks like a Gilthead Bream bite, turns out it's a little bass. Same thing tonight, turns out black bream. So they can be quite hard to distinguish sometimes. Sometimes they can literally just be little nibbles, because they'll come and nibble at your bait. They want to check it out, they swim around, they'll come back again, nibble at it. Other times it'll just be bang, like a bass. So it can be a bit difficult. Black bream bites are generally very, very quick, sharp bites. The two I had were sort of sharp bites like that, and then 30 seconds or so, bang, they just came back and nailed it. Let's hope we can hook another fish. It'd be nice to get one on camera. Oh, that came out of nowhere. Now what have we got here? That bite came out of absolutely nowhere. What have we got? Another black bream? Yeah. Ah, it's a gilthead. Is that a gilt or a black? That is a Gilthead Bream, yes. Well, ladies and gents, it just goes to show, if you wait it out, you will get rewarded. One beautiful Gilthead Bream there. I'll get you a lot better show, it's getting dark. But what did I say about those bites? That is unreal. That fish was hitting me every couple of minutes. But there's our Gilthead Bream. I'm over the moon about that. I'm gonna get a bait straight back out.
There we go, hook out. What a beautiful looking fish.
Yes, absolutely buzzing. Now if he stays still, check that fish out. An absolutely stunning looking fish. The Gilthead Bream, extremely tasty. I'm so happy about that. I'm going to get a bait straight back out there.
I am absolutely pumped about that. Now interestingly, that fish was taken on gaper clam and lug. But I'm just grabbing whatever scraps I have here because I want to get a bait straight back out. I really don't think I've got much longer fishing here, so I've got both rods in at the moment. So I got snagged up on one of them, managed to get the rig back. Oh, I'm happy about that. Now I know it's no monster whatsoever. Some of the size of the giltheads people have been catching lately over here, pretty incredible, and fair play to them. But I just wanted to catch one. I don't care what size. Must admit, it is nice that it's an eating size though. Be cooking that up tomorrow. I was literally just in the middle of packing up. One of my rods started going. So once again, as you can see there, completely and utterly stripped. Now that's my last cast. I'm going to call it a day now. But I'll see you in the kitchen because I'm going to be cooking up these bream. So I'll be cooking up one of the black bream and the gilthead. I'll be doing that sometime tomorrow. So it's been a great session. Persistence paid in the end, and we got that gilt.
So it's the next day and I'm down the beach about to cook up this Gilthead Bream. Now, had a really good session last night. We had 2 black bream in the end and obviously the 1 gilthead. I've just brought the Gilthead Bream with me today and I'm just going to pan fry it very simply, just purely on its own, and I'm going to enjoy that out here on the rocks. Now, as you can see, it's another absolute banger of a day. Sun's beaming down, so it's brilliant. Very little wind, so going to be nice to pan fry this fish and yeah, sit here and enjoy it. So let's go through it and I'll show you what I'm doing. So this is our bream here. Lovely looking fish these. I absolutely love the look of them. Obviously they've got that gold bar above their head there. Lovely pinks, which you probably won't pick up in the camera, but beautiful colours. Now all I've done with this is gutted it and scaled it. So I'm going to take the fillets off now and we'll get cooking. So let's get these fillets off. Now I'm not going to bother, sometimes what you can do is just cut off the fins here, but I'm not going to bother with that. Just going to run the knife down the back of the backbone there. And even though this is no monster fish, you do get a fair bit of meat off it. Gilthead bream is probably my favourite out the bream species, followed by the cooches and then the black. I've never tried white bream or any others in fact, but Gilthead bream is really beautiful. So as you can see, you get a nice fillet off there. We'll take the other side off. My knife isn't actually the sharpest. I could have done with sharpening it before I came out. When you're filleting fish, if your knife's not sharp, it will just tend to hack away at it. Over the rib cage there, and then just follow it around behind that fin, and there we go. That's the 2 fillets ready to go. So that's the fillets off, and all we want to do now is just trim them up a bit. Just got a little bit of sinew there, so we'll take that off. Now, as with most fish, you'll get pin bones down here. Now what you can do is get some little tweezers and pull them out. This way you're maximising the meat you get off it. However, I don't have any tweezers with me today, so all I'm going to do is just score the fish, and this helps for when you're cooking it. It doesn't fold up in the pan like that. By scoring it, it will prevent it from curling up in the pan when you're cooking it. But what I will do, you do waste a little bit like this, but I'm just going to cut a little V-notch out of there, take those bones off, and then that is ready for the frying pan. So with these, all I'm going to do is just add a touch of oil, just a tiny bit. I'm just going to rub that into the skin, just like that. And I've got some salt and pepper here. Sprinkle a bit of that on. And the other side. And we're good to go. So pan's on, get a bit of olive oil in there. I'm on a bit of a slope here. Just slide that round the pan. It's going to prevent the fish from sticking. Always use a non-stick pan. And then we go in with our fish. You just want to add a bit of pressure on it at first. Keep it pressed down. I'm actually keeping the flame on quite high because we do have a little breeze coming in here, so I want that pan to retain the heat. Usually though, if you're cooking indoors, obviously there's not going to be any wind. Just turn the heat down to a moderate heat, let it tick over, and you're going to crisp that skin up nicely. And once the fish starts to go a nice white, pale white colour on the outside, and that starts rising up, flip it over to the other side, give it a minute and a half, and then you're done. Sometimes having fish like this, the best way to have it, just completely on its own, salt and pepper, a little bit of butter and lemon juice, and you really get the proper flavour of that fish. I can't wait for this. It's 10 past 1 in the afternoon, perfect time for a spot of lunch, perfect weather, can't beat it. So you may or may not be able to tell on camera, it's quite bright here. But once that fish starts turning that pale white colour, just like it is here, you can see in the middle here it's still completely raw. Once that starts creeping up like that, flip it over, and that's going to be ready. I'd say that's going to be ready in another minute and a half. I'm just going to add a little Guernsey butter in there. And a squeeze of lemon. I've got my little box here, which I'm going to use the plate. Oh. Beautiful. Bit of that butter and lemon on there. And there we have it. Now I know this may not look maybe as nice as other things I've cooked in the past, but it's not about that today. It's just about getting it in a pan, getting it cooked and eating it. No faffing around, pure flavour, pure freshness. That's what we're about. Oh, it's good. Really good. Thing I love about gilthead, well, in fact all bream really, they're a very firm fish, so it's hard to explain. The texture is it's almost meaty. You get a lot of fish, like especially pollock, it's a bit tasteless and really flaky. Bass is quite flaky as well. Bream all varieties of bream hold their own in the pan. They're very tender and meaty when you're eating them. I really, really like that. That's beautiful. So you get big, nice big chunks like that. Lovely. I've kept one of the black bream. I'm going to give one to my sister. I've kept one of them at home as well. So I just decided to cook the gilthead today because really that's the star of the show. Well, this was definitely worth the wait, and also worth the wait of sticking around last night. Now, it really paid in the end to just wait it out. I was confident that the fish would show up later in the evening, so it just goes to show if you do wait it out, most of the time you'll get rewarded. So I'm going to leave this video there. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to be doing more gilthead bream fishing over the next few months, whilst there seems to be quite a few around at the moment. Hopefully we can hook a few more. Hopefully we can hook a big one. Hopefully we can do another cook up. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks to everybody who subscribes. If you're not subscribed and you like the content, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. There's going to be loads more to come. We're nearly on 5k as well, so I'm going to be doing a pretty good giveaway for 5,000 subscribers, which I'm absolutely stoked about. So yeah, thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one.